everybody, how's it going? And welcome to SMG Viewers Comments, episode number 224. I'm sitting here in beautiful, sunny Hollywood, California, enjoying the weather, and fortunately, we're far enough away from the fires. We should be in good shape. Yeah, that's something I kind of used to watch on TV a lot, and now I'm kind of experiencing it, and kind of terrifying. Anyway, let's get right to it.
I went to a guitar store and I wanted to buy a Boss Katana 100, and the guy came up to me and for an hour tried to convince me that the Marshall code was better.
First off, when you say that kind of stuff, name off the store and where it was, because, you know, a guitar store, it really doesn't narrow it down for us. It'd be super cool to know exactly where it was, so we can call them up and explain to them that they should be trying to sell their clients stuff that sounds good. For the record, yeah, the Boss Katana 100's pretty good. The Marshall code, well, the little 25 watt or 30 watt I shot put it off a rooftop wasn't that great. Maybe the more powerful version is okay because you can change out the speaker. But yeah, as a general rule of thumb, yeah, the code is a pretty pathetic offering from Marshall and should be avoided like a bad case of herpes.
Greetings from Ohio. I was wondering if a distortion pedal could be plugged directly into an interface and then used with an impulse response, or would I need an external power amp to connect it to? Thanks in advance.
That's a fantastic question. It's probably something I should explore a little bit. The Thermion Gasoline I reviewed a couple weeks ago, they mentioned something about, yeah, just plugging it directly in and using some cabinet IRs. So yeah, it might do the trick. The thing is, you might want to use some kind of a power amp simulation as well. I think there's a free one from Ignite Amps you can download. So I'd say distortion pedal into interface, and then tube amp simulation plugin, and then your IR loader. You might get some good results like that. That's something I should really explore in a tutorial video. Hey, you know what? That's actually a fantastic idea. I think I'm going to do that. So thank you for that. Look for that on an upcoming show.
Hi, Glenn. I see people commenting about your older tutorial videos being kind of buried between your older videos and the valuable pieces of advice in those videos being hard to find. Would you maybe consider doing a longer all-around tutorial videos, even if you repeat yourself in them a lot? I think a lot more people could learn much more music production and recording that way. I would love to watch videos like that and see your way of doing things changes over time with acquired experience. Thanks, and cheers from Slovakia.
Well, therein lies the problem. I mean, I really don't want to repeat myself, but I have a feeling like, you know, there's been a lot of subscribers jumped on the channel over the years, and maybe a lot of you guys haven't bothered to check out those tutorials. Usually I've got cards up near the end of every video, which, you know, how to record heavy guitar, how to record heavy drums, all that kind of thing. And I've got playlists of all those videos. So I've tried to make them as easy as possible to find. I don't know, dude, maybe you should try reading the descriptions, because I've also got links to those playlists in pretty much every single video. Now, that being said, you guys want to see more guitar and drum recording tutorials, because I'd be totally down for that. Mix tutorials, all that kind of shit. You guys want tutorials? Yeah, I think I can do it. Like I said, I'm just trying to figure out a way how to do it without repeating myself, because I really don't want to do that. For those of you guys who really want to learn something, I've been working on this for well over a year. It's a premium tutorial that's going to be about anywhere from 6 to 15 hours long once it's edited down, called Total Heavy Guitar. And it is simply everything I have learned over the last 20 to 25 years about recording guitar amps. It's nothing to do with Sims at all. This is all about how to mic up an amp and how to evaluate it and get the best sound possible out of it and onto your recording medium. It's every trick in the book I've learned, and it's going to be freaking amazing. And hopefully it'll be coming next month. So I will keep you guys informed. We have one of the major stages has finally been edited. I get to check out a draft of that as soon as I finish tracking this piece right here. But I'm really looking forward to it, and I know a lot of you guys are probably going to be looking for exactly that. So I will keep you posted. So this week's episode is brought to you by the SMG Cock Blocker Noise Gate, the finest gate pedal I have ever played. If you play metal, this is one pedal you absolutely need to get. It's a sidechain gate. Your guitar goes in here, your effects loop goes in here. So when you stop playing, it not only silences your guitar, but it silences the hiss coming out of your amp. It's freaking awesome. It's $219 shipped anywhere in the world. There's a very limited quantity of these left. If you haven't got on the pre-order and you want to get one, I'd highly recommend getting one as soon as possible. Anyway, follow the link in the description below. You can get your hands on one, but they're not going to be around for very much longer.
Glenn, I accidentally unplugged my computer and corrupted my files on Reve. I did save it on a USB stick. How do I recover them? Will you make a video showing how? Love your show, Spectre Sound Studio forever.
Well, if you saved them on a USB stick, I don't know, try looking there. If you've corrupted them, you might want to try using the Reve software. It's RECVUA, I believe that's how it's spelled, and it's a free download. And if that doesn't help, I think you might be fucked. Sorry, dude, I'm not exactly sure how to get you out of this one. Maybe talk to people who are experts at file recovery. But let this be a lesson to everybody else out there. If you don't have a battery backup system on your computer, get one now. And now it's time for
the butthurt of the week. You should have been more patient and let the company help. This was slanderous. Unsubscribed.
I always love that when you get the butthurt people saying, oh, I unsubscribed as some kind of threat or something like that. Okay, you unsubscribed. Oh, I'm so fucking wounded. Look, dude, actually, as soon as I put that video out, Mellow Audio reached out to me and said, hey, let's fix it. Let's see what the issue was. They sent me a PDF with a whole bunch of information that was not included in the box. But most importantly, they sent me a brand new one. So I'm going to pull this apart in the next day or two and do a video on it and see, if I can get that mic preamp working and see what the issue was and maybe come to some kind of conclusion. But I got to give props to Mellow Audio for stepping up and saying, hey, you know what? We're not going to shy away from this. We're going to deal with it. We're going to get it fixed because we want to make the best product possible. I think that's fucking awesome, and I think it's amazing that they didn't blacklist me or say, we're not going to work with you again. They said, thank you. And that means they're a stand-up company. That's awesome. And I think any company out there should be able to respond to honest criticism like that, especially if something doesn't work as advertised, like the fucking Mesa cab clone.
Glenn, I often hear you refer fondly to the Andy Sneap forum. Any thoughts on creating a Glenn Fricker/SMG forum, or do you feel like forums are obsolete in the age of YouTube? Cheers from Indianapolis, Indiana, and fuck you, good sir.
Yeah, the Andy forum was a wonderful resource for a whole bunch of us where we just traded ideas and helped grade each other's mixes and just generally gave out some awesome tips. It's where I learned how to record metal guitar, and we had a very supportive community. And a lot of those guys that were involved right in the 2005, 2006 era all have careers now, and you guys all know their names. I mean, like Joey Sturgis is on there, Lasso Lammert, a couple of the Periphery guys, A.L. Levy. I mean, we all hung out together and traded ideas. It was fucking awesome. That being said, even back then, some of the threads I did took off really well, and I was considering maybe doing my own forum, and my buddy Lasso's like, dude, nobody's ever gonna go there. So I thought I'd go over to YouTube. And 5 years later, here we are. I'm got 341,000 subscribers, and thank you to every single one of you who hit that button. And I'm sitting in a studio in West Hollywood, California, and I'm basically doing gear demos and tutorials and shit for a living. And I couldn't be more thrilled. That being said, I don't know if I would ever do a forum because I don't know if it really works in today's environment. A dedicated Facebook group, perhaps. I don't know if you guys would be interested in that. Please let me know. Let's do a poll here. Would you guys be interested in seeing an SMG fan forum or something like that where we could trade mixes and ideas and all that kind of shit? That might be kind of fun. It might be worth exploring. I would like to bring some of that old Sneap forum feel back, and I think that'd be really fucking cool. But I'm going to leave that to you guys. Let's see what you have to say.
Best mix from Glenn, hands down.
Yeah, that was the Thermion video. Too bad not too many of you guys actually watched that one.
Please keep doing Back from the Dead reviews about old shit that sucks.
I think that might actually be a good name for that instead of Fearless Gear Reviews. Back from the Dead. Yeah, that might be kind of cool. I want to look at like a Johnson J station because I never actually got to play one. I always saw ads for those in guitar magazines and that kind of shit. I'm curious, can you guys help me out here? What crappy gear from the 90s and early 2000s, aside from the Digitech RP series and the Line 6 Spider series, did you get stuck playing that you really fucking hated? For me, an 80s kid, I had an 85-watt Gorilla amp that was an absolute piece of fucking garbage. And if I ever get the chance to review one, I will, but man, it was like the Line 6 of its day, and it was just fucking horrible. What fucking horrible gear did you have to play? I want to know. Leave a comment below because I want to dig up some of this stuff and see what I can come up with.
Glenn! Longtime fan of the show, and I have a question given your years of experience in the business and mixing many different music genres. How do you feel about streaming services effectively putting an end to the volume wars by doing volume regulations? Also, has the change from the final RMS off -10 to -7 to the final balance of LUFS, -14 to -9, I believe, changed your approach when it comes to mixing and mastering?
I think it's fantastic. It's forced me to redo the way how I mix, and I think it's great because it brings dynamics back. That was something sadly lacking in the early to mid 2000s was any kind of dynamics whatsoever. I remember having arguments with some of my clients about dynamics. No, it's got to be louder. It's got to be louder. I'm like, guys, you're not making it better. You're just making it worse. And, that fell on deaf ears. They were probably deaf from listening to nothing but super loud music all the time. The reason why so many records sounded so great in the 70s and 80s is because you simply couldn't print that loud of a mix onto vinyl or the freaking needle would jump right out. So there was no fucking point. And somebody got a bright idea once CDs came along, is that once we had all this dynamic range, let's get rid of it because it seems louder, and louder is better. Fortunately, the streaming services have come in and said, hey, you know what? Fuck that. Let's stop ruining music. Let's put a restriction on here and bring back the dynamics. And I think that's fucking wonderful. I used to have to hit my mixes with a mastering limiter and smash the living crap out of the drums and whatnot. Now I put a limiter there just to keep things from getting out of control. And that's it. I'm not using it for a volume boost. And I couldn't be happier. I think that's absolutely fucking magnificent. And the thing is, it's you guys that told me that. When I put out Good Evening Gentlemen there a couple years back, and I forget what the name of the song we did. I think it was Monocles. And I put a mix out, and I remember it was pretty fucking loud, and a bunch of you guys were like, wow, that sounds like shit. And I'm like, really? Because it sounds great here. And I don't know what the hell YouTube did to it, but it turned it down. So I wound up remixing that a couple days later and just turned everything down, and everyone's like, wow, that sounds so much better. What did you do? And I'm like, well, just turn shit down. So there you go. Dynamics are back, and I couldn't be happier about that. Now, if we could just get people to play drums without computer enhancement, we might be back to making rock and roll.
Glenn! Where the fuck is the promised Marshall Valstate 80/80/8100 review? You're promising that for a year or so. Fucketh thee, Glenn.
Yeah, I had to come back to LA to get some other stuff done with Lancaster Audio. So unfortunately, that one's still going to be on hold. I remember coming home for the summer and saying, oh, there's that Valstate I need to review. Yes, it's still on my list. I really want to do it because I think it's a really cool amp. And it's going to have to wait till at least Christmas till I get home because I couldn't fit that one on the plane. That is, unless anybody in the Los Angeles area wants to lend me one for a few weeks, I could do a demo on it that way. So once again, I put it to you guys. If somebody's got a Valstate, you want to see it on the show, hit me up, send me a message. Maybe we can set something up because that would be really fucking cool.
You should do a cover to the theme of the Space Battleship Yamato series. It is totally epic, and over-the-top vocals will alone make it fun to cover.
I think that's a phenomenal suggestion. That's a great track. Now, if you guys were wondering what the fuck I'm talking about, a couple weeks ago, I asked you guys, what do you think about anime series? What songs should we cover? And I got to go with, somebody suggested we do a cover of a Magical Girl song, like do it metal. That might be fucking hilarious. Or we do Yamato, and that might be really fucking badass as well. I think Siegfried would be down for it. Probably the Yamato thing might be pretty fun. And we just got to kind of change it around so it doesn't sound like disco. That's the only problem. But could be fun. Stay tuned. Let's see where this goes.
What? You're fat and ugly? Since when is metal supposed to be skinny and pretty?
And since the 80s, dude. Don't you remember all those glam bands? All those guys were very skinny and very pretty. Of course, if you look at the glam metal scene of the late 2000 teens, early 2020s, it's now gone from thin and pretty to old, pretty, and fat. And nearly dead if you count Vince Neil.
Hey Glenn, my Reve Generator 120 arrives in a week. I ordered back in July, and your channel review helped me decide on the Reve 120. Thanks. Oh, fuck you, Glenn.
You're very welcome, dude. I hope the guys at Reve watch this video and see that comment. Seriously, though, they're a great brand. I've been working with them since 2015. They were pretty much the first high-end guitar amp I ever had on the show. And they blew me away with that 120, and it's become my favorite amp ever since. I really hope you enjoy it. I've gotten a lot of use out of my Reve amps over the years. I've got my 120, but honestly, I think my favorite these days is probably the 100P. I've got sitting back at Spectre with that purple Tolex. It just looks cool, and it sounds fucking amazing. And yeah, Reve really outdid themselves. Much more cool stuff coming from those guys. Can't wait to see what they've got coming up. I know it's going to be cool, though.
Not giving these old RP units a fair shake. Years ago, I owned the $60 RP50 and used it for recording a live performance in a 3-piece punk band. Sounded great all the time. You just had to tweak the settings to your liking. Change my mind.
Dude, you can't change what doesn't exist. All right, everybody, that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And thank you to everybody who purchased an SMG Cockblocker pre-order. I've got a big announcement on that coming out next week. We've still got some units left, so if you want to get your hands on one, get on the pre-order now before they're gone for good, because they're not going to be around much longer. Anyway, thanks again for watching. Leave a comment below. I definitely want to hear from you guys about old crappy gear that you used to hate, because I want to do some more episodes on that, because I think that kind of stuff's a lot of fun. Anyway, until next time, let's make some great music together.